All right, so in this video, what I'm going to do is try to explain the most important concept in mindfulness and meditation in a way you probably haven't seen before in around 6 minutes. Of course, you know there are tons of great books and videos on meditation, but this explanation is specifically for someone who's looked at many of those and still hasn't heard an explanation that resonated with them. Maybe it's because you're someone who doesn't read books easily or doesn't do well sitting still. Whatever the reason, I'm speaking to those who have made an effort before and have come away skeptical. In other words, for someone like me until just a few years ago. So here it goes. The first thing to say about meditation is that it's not actually what people think it is. It's not some mystical state of connection with the universe. It's not contact with the spiritual plane. And it's not something that only special people can do. It can provide some pretty extraordinary benefits, for sure, but it really comes down to recognizing two fundamental states of reality. The state of being hijacked and the state of being mindful. So what does this mean, practically? The hijacked state means you're unaware of what you're thinking and feeling as you go about your day. And as a result, any inputs that hit you, or thoughts or feelings that you have that come from those inputs, literally hijack your mind. It means you're walking around sad, or anxious, or angry, and you aren't sure why. Not only do you not know why, you actually don't even know that you are. It's exactly like you aren't in control, because you actually aren't. You basically had a thought at some point that made you upset, being treated poorly by someone or disrespected, and because you didn't notice that thought as an actual thought, it burrowed into your mind and took it over. And now it's playing a multi-ending movie in your mind on repeat. You're saying things to yourself like, how dare they? I should have said this instead. Next time I'm going to say this in response. And that movie is now in charge of your temperament and your behavior instead of you. Most of us spend our entire day like this, and indeed most of our lives, distracted, helplessly watching a particle collider of random thoughts and emotions that's smashed into us during our days. When in this state, instead of having an upsetting thought, we become upset. And instead of having an annoying thought, we become annoyed. It's distraction, sure, but it's more toxic than just distraction. It's the loss of control. So what can be done to avoid this? Well, the opposite state of hijacked is mindful. Again, mindfulness isn't some mystical trance that we see in Hollywood. It's nothing more than noticing what's happening in your own head. It just means calming down and observing everything streaming into your mind, including the feeling of your own body, the sounds and smells around you, the sensation of breathing, and your own thoughts. And anyone can actually do this. Some people are really good at it and they spend a lot of time practicing it, but it's available to anyone at any time. And it literally only takes a second to begin. Random thoughts are constantly bombarding us. And those random thoughts then produce random feelings. If you don't believe me, just try to pause this and think of absolutely nothing for 20 seconds. It's nearly impossible for a beginner to do this. But if you can simply calm down for a moment and observe what thoughts and emotions you're experiencing, you'll see that they are simply intruders in your own mind. Maybe you want them there, maybe you don't, but they are not you, so don't let them become you. Mindfulness is simply the ability to observe inputs, including thoughts and emotions, as external, which puts you back into control. That's mindfulness. And that's really it. At any given moment, you're in one of these two states, hijacked or mindful. If you're hijacked, You have become the result of random stimuli and thoughts you've been exposed to throughout the day. And those thoughts and feelings are now in control of how you feel and how you behave instead of you. And finally, the simple fix for this is to realize you're in that state and choose to move into the other state. Take a few seconds to close your eyes, pull inward, take a few deep breaths, and inventory every sensation you're feeling in your body and mind. Every itch, every pressure, every ache, your breath, every emotion, and every thought as it arises. You spend all your waking moments in one of these two states. And mindfulness and meditation are simply the practice of working to spend more time in the better one. I hope this distinction helps you as much as it's helped me. And to learn more about this, I really recommend the work of Sam Harris. Like many of you, I've tried for years to get into meditation using dozens of different books and techniques with no success. It was Sam's approach that finally worked for me. So if you want to learn more, I believe the best path to getting into this is actually Sam's app, which is called Waking Up. And I wouldn't go to all this effort just to pitch you something that you actually have to pay for. So if you're someone who can't afford an app for whatever reason, you could just email him and his team and you actually get the app for free. But no matter how you do it, whether it's this app or another one or whatever it is, I really do hope you continue on your journey with mindfulness. It's not nearly as daunting as people make it out to be, and the benefits are truly spectacular. Thanks for listening.